Good evening, and thank you for joining and welcome everyone. I am Kimberly, and please make yourself comfortable and free to ask any questions along the way. I greatly appreciate your cooperation and helping me conduct my study with your honest and truthful opinions. So, this session will be recorded. So, we will be talking about your experiences being an English pre service teacher, and I will also present the summary of the results of my study. I have a few discussion guidelines, such as not leaving from the Zoom call and be in a quiet room where there are no distractions. So please take turns. It is okay for us to not agree, but please do so politely. Um, if you have some questions and if you have some questions or suggestions, please do the raise hand feature in the Google Meet. And if your internet connection is not stable or weak, you can turn off your camera. But if your connection is very stable or strong, please open your camera throughout the discussion. So now that I have acknowledged myself, the purpose of this discussion and the guidelines. So let's get started now. So first, please state your name, age, and what was your favorite part of being an English pre-service teacher. So who wants to go first? Okay, Elaine, please go on.
Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. I am Eleni Corpuz, a fourth year student taking up English. Okay, so my favorite part of my service teaching career must be on the application of the actual things that we have learned in school. Since just listening to it or just looking at the videos or proofs of the lessons that we have acquired during the years is a little bit difficult to really master if you're just looking at it. But once you are in the field, you realize that some are really effective with this group of students, while some doesn't work as much. You'll get to realize what will work with these kinds of students, and you'll be able to classify them according to how they are
Mhm.
working.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to look at the effects or the actual or the actual outcomes of
Mhm.
those uh, teaching teaching tips that we have learned from school.
Okay, so thank you for that. Now, how about the next? Who will answer or who will give her answer? Yes, Shaila, please go on.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so my name is Shala A. Bidania. I am 27 years old. I am taking a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. So for me, the best part was what it was the last week of the pre-service training because your students will tell you that they will gonna miss you and the way you they were gonna miss the way you teach them and how they appreciate the shortest conversations that you have with them.
Yes, I think they are surprising you, right? Because it's the last week or it's the last day of your student teaching, I guess. They will surprise you.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So okay, so that's cool, I think. And how about Lean?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I am Marilyn Donasco, 22 years old. So, my favorite part of being an English pre service teacher was, of course, teaching in front of the students. Actually, I'm not that confident facing many people. I sometimes doubt my capacity. However, due to this pre-service, I can say that I developed confidence. I
Yeah.
like teaching, especially when your students also learning from you. And they would say, kanami kanimo ma magtudlo, maintindihan gid namon. So for me, it's an accomplishment that I help learners. Oh,
Okay, so my suggestion for you is I think you will, of course, we must be confident with ourselves because we are teaching English, right? So learning English also
yes, ma'am.
I think we need to be confident. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so awesome for that. And so we okay, so for the next question, and how about for the least part? Do you have some least part of being a pre-service teacher? Okay, Elaine, please.
Okay, so of course there are always downsides to everything. Facing hundreds of students every day since there is a lot of enrollees.
Mhm.
Facing hundreds of students is a very difficult challenge since you'll have to adjust to every section or every person, every student that you encounter. And if you're not unprepared or don't have a strong foundation or you have a weak mental strength, or if you can't handle those stressful situations, it will really break you down. So I think that's my least favorite part in actual pre-service teaching, since it's very taxing for my mind to actually accommodate all of the students, especially if they have attitude problems or if they can't actually cope up with the speed that their classmates can understand the lesson, since will always be some who are slower than others. So with that, you really have to adjust and you have to think of ways to accommodate them so that they'll be able to actually be able to catch up to their classmates. So for me, that's my very least favorite part.
Okay, so how many sections did you handle, Elaine?
Um, in general, I handled 3 sections, but there are times when my cooperating teacher was not
Mm.
around, so I have to handle all of her loads, which is a total of 4. So it's very taxing.
It's alright because of course when we are teaching, I guess we are learning also from the students, right? Okay, so thank you for that. How about are there some or are there who wants to answer the least part? Okay, Shaila, please go on.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, for me, of course, yes, and I will agree to Miss Eleni Corpus that it is very challenging in facing different diverse students in camps in teaching, and also the lack of time preparations in doing daily lesson plans, and also the different instructional materials because you really need to exert more effort in making instructional materials in order for you to have an enjoyable class discussions.
Yes, and you are also working or creating a lesson plan, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So thank you for that, Shaila. How about Lean, Miss Donasco? Do you have to add something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Maybe the naughtiness of some of my diverse
Mm.
students because actually I'm handling 5 sections, so they have different personalities. So for me, it's a list because sometimes some of the students are not paying attention, especially when you are discussing on them. So that's all.
Yes, I guess that is one of the problems that we are gonna be um felt when we are teaching, the naughtiness of the students. Okay, so thank you for that. And how about how many of you have parents wanting you to become a teacher while you were still a child or while you were in your younger years? Okay, Eleni, please go on.
Well, in my case, I am very thankful that I have very supportive parents. They waited for me to actually think of what career path that I would like to take. And I chose to become a teacher. That's why it's sometimes, even if it's hard, you just have to carry on with it since you chose to be here. And you really can't do anything about it since I'm almost at the end. So, there.
Yes, I guess for me, Eleni, I guess teaching for you is your destiny, right? Do you agree with that?
Maybe it is a calling.
Okay, so it's nice hearing from you. Okay, how about the others? Okay, Shyla, please go on.
Okay, so in that question, um, I am the one who is I am the one who chose um, my course, and my parents just wait
Supported.
my parents just help me, or what is the term? Wait, wait. Sorry for that. So in that
Okay.
questions, I am the one who choose my course, and my parents just guide me and help me to and support my what I need in schooling.
So like teaching is your first your dream or your
Yes, teaching
yes.
is my dream since
Uh-huh.
I was a child.
Wow, that's nice to hear. How about Aline?
Me, mom, since I was a child, it's my parents' dream for me, as well as my dream to become a teacher. That's
And I guess you have supportive parents, of course. All of you.
yes.
Okay. So what about now? Are you satisfied with your status right now? Especially you are graduating, right? So are you satisfied with your status or yes?
Well, I'm actually kind of torn between my if I'm satisfied or not, but on most terms, I think I am quite satisfied since I'm almost done since I reached this at this point. So I have to
Yes,
be satisfied since
yes, you're on your thesis writing, right? So please go
Yes,
on.
mom.
Okay, you can do it. Even if you're busy and you are attending on this focus group discussion, so I'm very thankful for that. Okay. How about Shyla? Do you have to add something? Do you want to add something? If you are satisfied with your status right now in your college years in your fourth year.
So far, so good, ma'am. I'm just quite satisfied
That's it.
because I give my best
Mm-hmm.
to to support and to enhance the learnings I have right now, and I try my best to finish my manuscript so
Mm-hmm.
that I can perform the final defense.
Okay. Yes, you can do all that, of course. I know you all can do that. Okay. Celine, how about you? Are you satisfied with
Yes,
your
ma'am.
status right now?
Yes, ma'am. I am very satisfied because I'm almost there. I'm almost at my dream. Since I have encountered lots of challenges, but I'm satisfied because I overcome those and I am near to this course or to my dream.
Yes, especially the pandemic came, right? The COVID-19. So since the pandemic COVID-19 came, I think you are in your first or second year of college, right? So do you think COVID-19 is considered as a barrier when you are in your early years of college, and how was it? Okay, Eleni, please go on. Okay. Next
It
is Shyla.
was, for me, it was definitely an obstacle or a barrier since it's very hard to adjust when it's fascinating how when you are used to how things were supposed to be and then suddenly everything just shifts. It takes a little bit of time for you to be able to be comfortable with it. I think that's what happened with me during the pandemic times. I have realized then that I'm not a type of learner that can just, that is, I'm not a visual learner. I have realized
Mm.
then. I need to be able to actually perform or actually be in there in order to learn. And during those times with the pandemic, since we only have to learn during virtual meets such as this one, it's very difficult for me since I have realized that I am not getting as much as information as I did before. I realized that I am not as motivated as I was. And because of that, I have actually uh, my motivation to actually attend my classes have faltered, and I think that's what made the pandemic very difficult for me.
And we are still experiencing COVID-19 right now, right? So how about in your practice teaching? How was it, Alan?
During my practice teaching, since there is already face to face during my pre-service time, so it was a little bit okay since there were are I can be I'm able to face my students. I'm actually able to actually see what my students are doing, and I'm actually able to um, see their progress and how they are able to uh, absorb my lessons. And since that, I think my pre-service teaching was actually okay. Just the
Early
uh,
year.
just presentation and those things that we have to. There's actually the only problem is the what do you call this? The things that we need to do, in order to actually protect ourselves from COVID-19. So I think it was okay.
Okay, so thank you for that. How about Shyla?
For me, yes, COVID-19 is a big barrier for me because due to the COVID-19, the learnings that I have right now was not that enough in order to take the board exam, even though I have attended online classes. And for me, face to face classes is more effective than compared to online classes. And also, I am more active in face to face interactions. I am more capable of doing the best of me in terms of face-to-face discussions.
Yes, I think I agree with you, Shyla. So thank you for that. How about Lynn?
Yes. Yes, mom. Yes, for me, COVID-19 became a barrier in my previous years. It's because I felt I'm not knowledgeable enough. I have many things I didn't experience that surely could help me. I felt that I didn't equip the qualities of being an English teacher. To the point I became lazy in my studies previous years. So for me, yeah, it's a barrier. But I'm still thankful that I overcome those. At
Mm,
least I'm almost there.
yes, that's right. So thank you for that. And I remember that in the year 2020, I guess. So there's still COVID-19, right? So we fourth year in the second sem, we experience for our practice teaching just seminars. So I guess it's not. I didn't like that. So we didn't experience practice teaching as being a student practice teacher in a real classroom setting. So we just did online demo or on our final demo. So I guess it's a very sad thing on our part. Okay, so thank you for that. Um, how about difficulties in segmentals? Do you have some problems encountered, Alani?
Excuse ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so difficulties in segmentals, especially in the vowels. Do you have some problems encountered? Do you have some difficulties in pronouncing some vowels when you are um, teaching the students?
Well, when in terms of pronunciation, I think I don't have that much problem in
Mhm.
pronunciation, but if you continuously do the talking or if you are talking for more than an hour straight, it will, things like having mistakes in pronunciation will most definitely happen since you're getting tired and some students can just listen or understand what you were saying just by hearing it once. So you need to
Mhm.
repeat what we were saying again, and because of that, you'll have strain or it will strain your chords, and by doing that you'll have a pronunciation malfunction or a mistake sooner or later. So but when I encounter that, I think the most hard words to pronounce are those with the schwa sounds,
Yes,
because
sure.
yes, with the schwa sounds, since once you say them
Mhm.
repeatedly, it becomes difficult, and I think that's where I find most words that those words have those sounds have are what I have difficulties most of the time once I'm saying things repeatedly. So yeah.
Okay. So how did you okay, Eleni, so how did you overcome those problems with especially you mentioned in schwa sounds. How did you
Okay,
overcome?
so since the problem most of the time is that I have to raise my voice so that the children at the back or the students at the back can hear
Mhm.
me. So I have decided to actually say things slowly, and if they can't listen to me or hear me enough, I try to have the students repeat what I'm saying. So because of that, I won't strain my voice or I won't strain myself, and this children at the back can still hear me or can hear what I was talking about, since some of their classmates have repeated what I said. And
Mhm.
by doing that, there is actually interaction, and I can proceed to my lessons quite easily without having pronunciation mistakes.
Yes, and sometimes I guess the students, even though you are repeating the words or sentences, they are still can't understand, right? So it's very natural in classroom setting. Okay, so thank you for that, Alani. Okay, for do you have something to add, Shaila? Difficulties in segmentals, especially in vowels. Do you have some problems encountered?
Okay. Even though I have a problem in pronouncing the long E sound because I have the tendency to quicken some um, words and but during my pre-service teaching, the setting is different from your expectation because as an English teacher, I expect that I will use the full English language when teaching English subject English. But if you are in the exact or in the exact setting, you will learn that not all your learners can really understand the English
Mm,
language. So, in order for me to correct the long E sound,
mm,
I I have to read the sentences or the words slowly because I have the tendency to speak faster than the regular speaking duration, right? But I really ask my student if I talk faster than the usual. So I really try to speak slowly in order for them to understand. And I just chose the simplest sentence in words in order for them to really understand what I'm talking about. And also, if you're in the field, you need to translate the English words or sentences that you were discussing into the vernacular in order for your learners to really understand your lessons.
okay, so thank you for that, Shaila. How about Lean?
M- Yes, mom. Can you please repeat the question?
Okay, okay. So do you have
Hello, mom.
difficulties? Okay, okay, Lean,
Sorry,
can
my
you?
signal is so.
It's all right. It's all right. So how about now? Am I audible?
Pardon. Again, mom. Can you please
Okay.
repeat? I'm
Okay.
sorry. I
It's
can't
all
hear.
right. It's all right. How about the difficulties in segmentals, especially in vowels? Do you have some problems encountered?
Yes, mom. Yes. I sometimes mispronounce
Mm-hmm.
words in my discussion, especially the long E.
The
I
long.
sometimes said the short E. Yes,
Uh,
ma'am. But then through the help of my cooperating teacher, she corrected my pronunciation. That's why I learned. I learned to pronounce
mm,
it properly.
yes, the long e also. Okay. Okay. So thank you for that. For about how did the program or student practice teaching change you or some aspects of your life? So how did the program or how did student teaching change you or some aspects of your life? Okay, Shaila?
Okay, so for me, practice teaching really changed me the way how I handle myself in front of my students, and also um, it gave me more confidence in dealing diverse students.
Yes, the diversity of students. Yes, that's correct. Thank you for that, Shaila.
Welcome on.
Okay, Eleni.
So practice teaching, pre-service teaching really did teach me a lot. It taught me a lot. it actually made me more patient since you need patience when speaking or teaching a lot of students every day. It also makes you see things quite differently since you learn that you need to understand why some people are doing this, why they are acting like this, or why they react to this way or things quite differently from the others. Once you meet different types of people or different types of students every day for each of your class, you will see a lot of situations that are actually quite stressful if you don't try to see it with their perspective. You learn a lot of new perspectives how you should see people not just because of how they act or how they actually look like, but you need to understand why they are doing that. You actually need to be patient and try to understand people more. So I think that's what it taught me. And I think that I will try to apply that even in my daily life.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. So thank you for that, Alani. How about Lean?
Yes,
How
ma'am.
did
As
okay?
as I said, I,
Yes, it's please go on.
okay, ma'am. As I said earlier, a big help my internship journey because I developed my confidence. I encountered diverse students that challenged me not only this time as well as my future self as a teacher maybe. So through this program, I am preparing myself to face the real world someday. And I am grateful that I experienced this kind of journey. So at least someday, if I will be a teacher, I have already equipped some qualities of an effective teacher.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that, Lean, and I hope this year. Okay. So you will be all teachers or next year. Okay. After graduating, you will review for the licensure examination for teachers, and I am really glad to help you with that. Okay. Okay. So thank you for
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Okay, Shaila, Alani, and Aline. And do you have feedback to share before I will present the summary of the results of my study? None?
I have something to say. So,
Okay. Yes, please go on.
okay, so ever since we started with, since from the observation to the interviews to this discussion, it actually gave me time to actually reflect or
Yes,
actually to look back at what my progress was or how I was before the student internship. And it really did make me realize a lot of things. It made me realize my problems or what I should have done better from my past experiences. That since now that I'm not, our student internship has ended, I have realized things that I should have done so that my my performance would have been better. But since I had the time to reflect on it with these activities, it really did help.
yes. And I'm so happy that, of course, you did reflect from what you have been doing until now. And I'm really happy for that, Alani. So thank you for that. Okay. So how about the others? Do you have okay feedbacks?
For me, mom, nan.
Okay, so thank you, Lean. How about Shyla? Okay, I think there is none from Shaila. Okay, again, everyone, thank you for attending or joining this focus group discussion, and I'm really hoping that this year or next year we'll become teachers. Okay, I'm really glad to have. Okay. Okay, so for now, I guess we will end this discussion, and for the results, if the results, I will discuss it to you when we are done. Okay. Thank you, everyone, again, and have a good night.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you, ma'am.
thank you, Lynn, and thank
Thank
you,
you,
Shaila.
ma'am. Thank you.